So I'm going to chat with you a little bit about the all-new SharePoint Brand Center, which has just started releasing out to you. So if you have your tenant and targeted release, first release for SharePoint, this will be available to you now. We actually got to all of our targeted release customers yesterday. So really excited to have the Brand Center available. Couple of notes on the Brand Center. If you're going there and you're saying, but I don't see custom fonts or I don't see the Brand Center, it does require some setup in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So you have to configure from there first before you will see that in your SharePoint and Viva Connections experiences. So when you go in and after you set that up and you do that slight configuration there, you'll get this all new SharePoint Brand Center app. And in that, that's what you see on the screen today. So in that app, we have custom fonts. This is the first experience that we've brought to the new SharePoint Brand Center. More experiences will come to the SharePoint Brand Center in the future, like themes, where you don't have to run code for setting up themes, but we will get there. So the new Brand Center has custom fonts today. So it's a really simple experience. You come in and you upload your fonts just like you normally would in document libraries. You're going to come in and you're going to have this kind of brand font library. I apologize, it's a little slow loading some of these things. I'm on the same conference Wi-Fi as everyone else, so it does get a little bit slow. But it's a document library just like you would expect in SharePoint. So you can come in and upload your font files. Once you do, they show up here, and this is how you'll manage them. You'll notice we have this column here called visible. What does that visible column mean? This is how you actually control whether or not these fonts appear in the picker experiences that will be needed. So if you upload one and maybe aren't ready for everyone to have access to it yet, or you maybe retire it and replace your corporate font, you can come in and make it not visible anymore. And it will still continue to work in sites that have it, but that way it won't be creating new experiences. So when you want to have your custom fonts applied to both SharePoint and Viva Connections, you're going to go in and start creating what's called a font package. So you're going to use our SharePoint and Viva Connections experience here in the Brand Center app, and you're going to go in and create that. So let's create a font package together. So when we come in, we say we want to create a new font package. It's going to prompt us to select 2 font families. So of those fonts that we have uploaded, it's going to prompt us to select from those. So you could pick any of those as you go through. It will show you a preview of what those fonts look like. And so you can pick from these different fonts as you go through. So let's go through today and we'll do one with the serif hand and Arial, and we'll go through and create that font package. So the next step of that is you have to assign those fonts to those different areas of the product. So we've released this with 4 font slots: title, headline, body, and interactive, and given you some guidance there. So as you go through, you're going to select your font and you're going to select the style of that font that you want. So you can go through and really customize that, and you'll see that preview kind of updating as we go through. And then you'll go through and select all 4. Remember, we have 4 different ones to select through. We did give you a bit of guidance as to what you might want to select and how, and you'll go through and create your font package. So we'll quickly go through, add all of these in, and then we're going to go ahead and hit next. This is where we get to have the fun part. We name it, right? So how do we name it? The name is what will appear and change the look for your users to select from. So you want to give it a name that makes sense and it's relevant for your organization. You can have fun with it. You can name it based off the fonts, however you want. Does anyone here in the room have a suggestion for what I should name this font package?
Lazy dog.
Lazy dog. I like it. Okay. So once we do that, you'll see again that visible setting is here. If I don't want it to appear and change the look, I simply mark this as not visible. If I keep it as visible, it's going to appear and change the look. So we're going to go ahead and leave that. But you know, I've created this and I can see the fonts. Well, wouldn't it be great if I could see how this font package would work in SharePoint and Viva Connections now? Well, I could actually use these pivots right here in the preview, and it's going to load up and apply that font package to those experiences. So I'll be able to see that font package applied right in line, hopefully. Take a minute to go through and apply it. Sometimes it does need a retrigger here. Fingers crossed, or else this is a demo fail, but we'll just go with it. Oh, I saw it. There it is. So now you can see that font package applied to it. So I can see what it's going to change with that. I can do the same in Viva Connections. and I can pivot over and it'll apply it to Viva Connections. You'll see it load up with what's there, and then it can override across it. But you'll be able to preview this across. I apologize for Viva not loading this morning. It's just taking its time. But you can see those different font packages applied across SharePoint and Viva Connections right from within that creation experience. So we're going to go ahead and hit save. So what this is going to do, it's going to add our Lazy Dog font package right here to our font package library. And we can see all of the different font packages that we've created. So let's look at what this looks like when we actually start using it. So we're going to go over to my product design site, and then we're going to come in and go down to change the look. So for site owners, after I've gone through as the person in charge of brand and I've created those font packages, what you get now is you have a change the look experience just like we're used to. So I come in, and what we have actually done is we have actually provided a set of font packages for you from Microsoft. So if you don't have a corporate font and you just want to use some fonts today, there's a set of 8 different font packages provided from Microsoft that are available to you. So you can try those out, apply them, see them preview right there as you go through and select through, change up your site pretty drastically just by using one of the Microsoft font packages. So we're just going to go ahead and apply that and take a look at what it looks like once it's applied to the site. So you can see it goes through and applies. Now, you may be noticing that this feature is actually listed as preview. So we have actually gone ahead and released the Brand Center and custom fonts in a public preview. Why have we done that? We are still adding support for additional web parts and components in SharePoint. And so until we hit critical mass of those, it's going to stay in public preview. So you'll see that preview tag go away once we hit that level. So right now, it will not apply custom fonts to every aspect of every web part in your sites. It will apply it to a lot, but it will not apply to everything. So you will find different pieces where it does not apply. As an example here, you can see that in the stream web part that I have here, the promo videos, the web part header, title, whichever one you want to call that, has the custom font applied to it, but the text that's showing up on the stream web part itself on that video is not customized yet. So you'll see a little bit of a mixture of that. We have also taken a strong approach here where certain things that are needed for the site to work will not be customized. So you'll see things like menus and editing experiences stay in the Microsoft default fonts. Why do we do this? Did anyone use custom fonts in the past and set their site to be wingdings just for fun and then not be able to use a menu structure to change it back? Well, now, no matter what font you set, you will always be able to use the product as intended with those menu structures remaining as the Microsoft default. So real simple there. We can see this applied to different sites. So let's come into a different one and we will go to our change the look. We'll go here. And so now we see those from my organization, those font packages that you saw that were in the Brand Center app. You can see all of those here. So let's go ahead and try out our Lazy Dog font package and see what that looks like when we apply it to our site. So we can go through and see that new font package that we just created, that Lazy Dog, shows up and goes ahead and applies to our site. Again, some things are not completed. So you can see like the document library, the folder names, everything has stayed in Go so far. Different pieces will continue to come across, but you can see the content goes through and changes. You can see some of those highlights of the different fonts being applied across. Now, you'll hear us talk a lot about this is working for SharePoint and Viva Connections. So what does that mean in Viva Connections? So when I come over to my Viva Connections experience, I actually have changed the look integrated right here. So now I have changed the look and I can customize my theme and my font for Viva Connections, noting that if I go through and customize this, the home site that's associated to it. So the SharePoint home site that's associated to your Viva Connections experience will also change. If I'm changing it from within Viva Connections, it changes. If I change the SharePoint home site, my Viva Connections experiences change as well. So we've added a little notification at the top of these panels just to give you that highlight that it will change. But those same ways that I had before, I can come through and apply that font package here. And I apologize that from my organization, cache is not cleared on this site, and I don't want to refresh it because Teams is always temperamental. We'll get there, but it will, you can see the temperamentalness of Teams with my Relic Cloud logo not showing up in this tenant this morning. but it is what it is, which we can see those custom fonts being applied and changed here in Viva Connections. We have added theme support into Viva Connections as well. And so we're really excited with the new Brand Center and your font experience coming into both SharePoint and Viva Connections. There are a few updates with things like the Viva Connections mobile will not have the custom font. That will come at a later time. But a lot of different fun experiences, and you can really have some fun with this. And we have developer third-party support for custom fonts from day one. So if you have a solution in SPFX today, we have some samples out and some videos for how you can make those work with custom fonts as well. Some documentation for that will be coming hopefully this week. I just got to find some time to finish writing that article. But that'll be coming out, and we have some videos showing how to do it. But we're really excited to see what you come up with for the Brand Center, for what you see coming into it in the future, things like images and colors and themes and all of the different innovations that we'll have coming in to the Brand Center moving forward. So that's the new SharePoint Brand Center in the quickest summary I can give it. If you want to learn more about this, want to see it further in action, and you're here at the conference, we do have a session on Thursday morning for this. But otherwise, we're looking forward to seeing what you have, and you can always tweet out. Tweet? We still tweet?
I think we tweet, yeah.
We tweet on X, right?
Yep.
I think you can still tweet out. Yeah, make use of the developer platform and pay attention to that. And Vesa and David can tag me if there's questions that need to be answered. So thank you.